Blessed be everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be working with essential oils for anxiety, but before we do, I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com, author of Crafting Your Wiccan Path, and if you want to know more about Wicca and witchcraft, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss any videos. And if you want to know where to start your witchcraft practice, then download my free video called How to Start Your Witchcraft Practice. It is a 20-minute to half-hour webinar that just helps you know where to start, what you need to know, and how to pace yourself. The link is in the description field below this video. All of us experience anxiety at various stages of our life because essentially what anxiety is fear. It's being afraid, not feeling safe for some reason. For a lot of people, it's generally temporary. It may only be when you're facing fearful situations or fearful events. It could be for public speaking, for performance, with performance anxiety. It might be going to a job interview. You may have a little bit of social anxiety if you're going into a social situation and you don't know anybody. Some people experience social anxiety more chronically, and in that case you would need to treat that more in the way that you would treat more generalized anxiety or free-floating anxiety. But for those temporary situations where you know that it's just because there's an event that's you're feeling insecure about, and once that event's done and dusted, then your nervous system will calm down and you'll go back to normal. For those situations with anxiety, using essential oils and magic can be quite helpful. But for other forms of anxiety that are more chronic or more free-floating or more generalized, it's best to use a combination of things, particularly using healing modalities, because essential oils can help, but they're not going to fix it. And magic certainly isn't going to fix an anxiety disorder. This is where you do have to work with a professional, work with various different healing modalities. My experience with anxiety has been that I found a combination of things actually worked better for me. I had done a lot of traveling through various different psychotherapy modalities with psychologists, had a little bit of success with Gestalt, but not a lot of success with anything else, personally speaking. Where I found help was really with emotional freedom technique and tapping, and that's why I became a tapping practitioner, because I just found it to be the best thing for me personally. And I have a tapping channel, so if you want to go over to my tapping channel, the link is in the description field below this video. And on that tapping channel, I have some tapping for anxiety, for performance anxiety, for social anxiety, and various other situations, job interviews, that sort of thing. I also found that hypnotherapy helped as well. So working with a hypnotherapist, listening to hypnotherapy audios, there's heaps of them out there on YouTube that can be helpful and that you can use as part of your treatment if your anxiety is something that is ongoing, that you have found to be a real problem for you. But essential oils can assist in whatever treatment program you're doing. I wouldn't use them alone. They're not going to be effective by themselves. As I said, magic isn't going to be effective in and of itself for that type of anxiety. But if you want to use them to assist you, then you can certainly do that with your oils. Now, when it comes to oils, the reason why they work is because they work on calming the nervous system. They actually do affect the brain and our neurochemistry. So there's a biological connection there between the oils and our body. Anxiety is a physiological experience. It's chemicals running through our nervous system. That's actually all it is. And even though it feels awful and horrible and we hate it and we want to run away from it, the running away from it actually makes it worse. And so I have found that if you are experiencing, or if I'm experiencing anxiety, I just acknowledge that I'm experiencing it, that there's chemicals running through my nervous system. That's all it is. I need to ground myself. So go ground yourself, stick your feet in the mud, stick your feet in the dirt. Try to bring your energy down from the upper chakras down into your root chakra, because the root chakra is about safety and security, and anxiety, of course, is not feeling safe, not feeling secure. And if you do want to work on relieving your anxiety, then work on figuring out what the cause is. And that's why working with a therapist or a practitioner is so important, because they can help you not just find the cause, but also then help you release whatever those beliefs are, whatever those perceptions are that are causing the anxiety in the first place. The oils I like to use are lavender oil, which I've got here. I like to use violet oil. I like to use sandalwood. And also, so they're the oils that are more sedative types of oils, so they will help calm you down. They're good if you want to meditate. They're good if you want to help with sleep. But if you want to feel alert, because maybe you're going for a job interview, or you just want to get through your day and be alert but also calm, then your more citrusy oils like bergamot or orange sweet can help you there. Essentially, I like to use a combination of oils though, particularly if I'm going to be wearing them. And when I work with blending oils, I do like to work, if I can, with the 3-note system of aromatherapy, where you've got your base note, your middle note, and your top note. And this has to do with the volatility of essential oils, because they don't last very long. Once you put them into the air in a diffuser, even if you're blending them as like a perfume or to wear, they don't last that long. They don't last like perfume, because they don't have those chemicals in them that perfume has to make it last longer. So I like to use the blend, and the blend has an effect psychologically too, because when we come across a blend that's been blended according to the note system, the first note that we notice is the top note, which is generally your more citrusy types of oils. So bergamot, for example, is a top note oil. It's quite strong, and you notice it first if it's in a blend. So you'll have that calming but alert aspect of bergamot. And then if you're using a middle note such as lavender or violet, a more sort of florally type or herby types of oils, maybe basil or something like that, that will then bring you into that more sense of calm, but you've still got that top note of the bergamot there. And then when you go down to the more woody sense or resins like sandalwood or patchouli, then you are working with that really grounded, earthy sense. And that can help ground you, which is what's important when you're anxious. You need to be grounded and bring you into your root chakra. So I like to use a combination of these because they work well together. Your groundedness of your base notes, you've got the pleasant sedation of and peacefulness of your middle notes, and then you've got of the top notes, then you've got that more being alert and awake, but then calm at the same time. So I'm going to show you how to do a blend that you can use in your Magick or to wear or to diffuse when you're experiencing bouts of anxiety. So the first thing I like to use is to have a little bowl that I can blend my oils in. I like to start with the base note. You don't have to start with the base note. I just like to, because I'm a Virgo and I like things to be ordered. So I'm using sandalwood oil here, and I'm just going to put in a couple of drops of sandalwood. Oops, a bit more than a couple there. The next oil I'm going to put in is lavender oil. So I'm just going to use the eyedropper for this one because it tends to pour out. So maybe 1 or 2 drops of the lavender. And then here I've got my top note, which is the bergamot oil, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that in. Now, I'm going even with these, but it's up to you. You may want to put more sandalwood in and have more groundedness. You may want to put more lavender in and have more of that sort of middle balancing, calm, pleasant energy, or you may want to put more bergamot in. It depends on what you're wanting as your outcome. Generally speaking, you would put more of the base note in and then put your floral in, or your middle note in, and then less of the top note, because your top note tends to be stronger in scent. And then I just let them swish together, mixing them together. And if I'm going to anoint a candle so that it goes a little bit further, or if I'm going to be using it as like something to wear on my skin, I will definitely blend that with a carrier oil, because you don't want to be putting essential oils straight on your skin. So the carrier oil I will generally put in, if I'm using 2 drops of the other 3, I'll put in about 6 drops of the carrier oil, or sometimes even more, depending on what I'm doing. And then mixing them all together, having a bit of a smell. And then using this oil to anoint a candle, a blue candle if you want calm, or you could use a green candle, or if you want more energy, use an orange candle. Anoint your candle and focus on the flame. Meditate on the flame. Try to only see the flame, focus on the flame, and when you catch your mind wandering, which it's going to be doing a lot of if you're anxious, because anxiety is very much about mental chit-chat going on overdrive, where the mind just will not stay still. Watch your thoughts as if you're watching a movie. So you're trying to step away from your thinking and watch your thoughts and watch what you're telling yourself. And if you want to work on understanding what you are telling yourself that's getting you into an anxious state, write those thoughts down so that you can see what they are, and then you can see how you're making yourself anxious by understanding how you're talking to yourself and what thoughts are going round and round and round in circles. But to bring your energy down, you want to focus on one thing, one pointed focus, and that is the flame of the candle. Look at the shape of the flame, look at the colors within the flame. You could even start to do some scrying into the flame. Be curious about the flame, develop an interest in the flame, and that will actually help calm your nervous system down. So that's one way you can do it. Another way is to perhaps put a bit more carrier oil in the solution and wear it as a perfume. So just putting a little bit behind the ears and maybe a little bit on your chest somewhere so that you can smell it. If you're going to a job interview, for example, do not put much of the oils in. Make sure that the scent is incredibly subtle, because you don't want the job interviewers being able to actually smell it, because it can actually put them off. Different scents have different effects on different people. So just make sure it's very, very subtle. Or put your oil, your neat oil, so not using a blend, not blending it with a carrier oil, but just using those 3 oils, put them in an inhaler. So there's inhalers that you can buy or you can make for yourself, where you just take the lid off and then you just inhale the vapor. So you could do that through putting some of this oil onto a cotton wool ball and carrying that with you, and then just before you go on stage or just before you go to the interview, you can just have a smell of it. Try to inhale it maybe with 20 inhales, and then go ahead and do whatever it is that you're doing. Or you can put the 3 neat oils into a diffuser and allow it to just diffuse in your room if you're using it in your own space, and it's not going to be a problem for anybody else. When it comes to the magical aspect of it, you don't necessarily need to be doing a magic spell, because as I said, a magic spell's really not going to do anything for the anxiety. It's more you doing the ritual of blending your oils, putting it on the candle, putting it in the diffuser, putting it on yourself, and inhaling the oils. That's actually going to really help your nervous system. And if you want to learn how to practice witchcraft and Wicca with me, do have a look at the Mystery Witch School 101 Academy. The link is in the description field below this video. I teach a 12-month course on Wicca, where you get to learn how to work with energy, magic, and with the Sabbats and the lunar rites, and how you can bring your spiritual practice and your magical practice into your everyday life to bring it more meaning and to bring you more connection with nature, spirit, and the divine. If you like the video, hit the like button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Sandra from mysterywitchschool.com. Blessed be.